Hello, good evening. I'm a little stuck there. Kathey Batey with Divorce Support Anonymous. Welcome. It's Friday Night Live, where I step into your life for just a few moments, hopefully to give you some encouragement, some hope, and some direction as you go through the trauma of divorce. Tonight, I want to talk about a topic that I know you can all relate to. As we go through divorce, the overwhelm that we face and also the disorientation, we have those moments of fear and insecurity where we ask ourselves, am I going to be okay? Am I going to make it through this? And I know how terrifying those moments can be. And I want to help you through that. I want you to know that you are going to be okay. How do I know that? I know that because if you are listening to this, you're being intentional about your healing. You are seeking resources, you are seeking wisdom, you're seeking direction, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So as we ask the question, am I going to be okay? It really, within that question, is the fear of the unknown. We have never been in this place before, and it's frightening. And it's frightening. And if you are one of those individuals who are in this space, I want you to know that we can have a conversation tonight. You can text me, you can make a comment here, or you can make a phone call. And we'll have a conversation, and you can be as anonymous as you would like to be. But I want you to know that you're going to be okay. Because I went through it, I made it through it, and I have witnessed hundreds of people who have gone through it, and they've survived it. And today you would not even know they were the same person as the one who came into my support group or asked me to coach them individually. We don't know that when we're in the thick of it, though. When we are in the disorientation and we are feeling confused and in pain, and we can take that tailspin and the downward spiral, or we can take steps to empower ourselves through it. So I want to give you some of those steps today to help you get through it. So let's get started. Number one, am I going to make it? The fear of the unknown? It's really the loss of control that is terrifying to us. We have lost control. And can you tell how clarifying that is when we nail it down and articulate it correctly? We can say, I'm afraid, and that's pretty broad and pretty general. But if we say, I'm afraid of losing control because I've lost control, that helps us articulate it. That helps us to say, okay, so if that's what I'm afraid of, how do I gain that back? So it's important right now that we are honest with our feelings and admit them. To be able to say, I am afraid of, I am anxious about. And the more clearer you can become on how you're feeling and the feelings right now, the more you can counteract them with direction. So be honest and admit your feelings. Admit your fears, and we're going to talk about writing them out in a minute, but first you have to admit them. You have to be honest with yourself. And I think one of the reasons we have such a difficulty doing that when we come out of divorce is because we have spent so much time and energy in rationalizing and trying to keep a negative relationship working that we're not able to be honest with ourselves, to really admit as we step away from a marriage, yeah, I was really miserable in that marriage, but I wouldn't admit that because I was loyal to the marriage. So we have to turn around and we have to be gut level honest with ourselves. And we do that in group. We do that in group by my asking some really specific questions to open people up, to get them to discover and admit what their feelings are. So number one, we've got to admit what we're feeling. Secondly, and by the way, I've got 5 tonight, not 3, but 5. We have to look at the facts of what's real and what's the truth, because our mind can play around with us and we can't let it, because our feelings many times are not trustworthy. So we have to, within our feelings, which we've identified, we have to find the truth. What's really the truth here? And that takes some work to be able to identify what the lies are, to find the truth. Is it really true? Or do I just feel that I have lost control? And those are some questions to ask yourself too, of what can I control here? And that goes into the next one, how to find the truth. But then we have to be writing out. Here I go, writing again. And if you're not a journaler, that's fine. Just start making a list. Grab a piece of paper, start making a list. Write out, what are those fears that we are feeling? The fear of the unknown. What does that mean exactly? What are those fears? Be as specific as possible, because when you respond to it and label it specifically, then you can counter it specifically. So as you're listing out those fears, you need to ask yourself a question. What can I control here? Within this fear, what can I control? So I'm afraid that I'll be alone. So don't be alone. You can start the process of starting network and getting with people. Even during this COVID time, it's possible. So write out those fears so you can counter them. What can I control? Within what can I control? What are those choices? And then, do I need help? Do I need support here? With my fears, with overcoming my fears, with logically thinking about my fears? There's help available. I was trying to find a list, and if you request it from me, I will send it to you, a list of scriptures that talk solely about fear. Usually I hand it out the first night of group because I find it very helpful. And all of the passages where God says, do not be afraid, do not be afraid, do not fear. And that can help us as we counter our fears, but we have to identify them, write them out. And then I want you just to reassure yourself, you're not a loser here. You have had some incredible successes in your past. And many times we forget them because we're so overwhelmed with our fear of the unknown and asking ourselves, am I going to make it? Am I going to be okay? So reassure yourself with, you know what? I've handled some really tough stuff in the past. And I know this is different, and I know this is so gut level personal, but I can handle this too. And that good self-talk is going to go a long way. And I don't mean phony encouragement. I mean talking ourselves through the day, the times, the fear, and say, you have done some really tough stuff in the past. You can do this. You can do this too. And then if you need to cite those examples and where you have succeeded or your strengths, go ahead if it's going to help you. You're not the loser here. I know that you have succeeded many ways in your past. And now's the time to recall them and to remember them. So, you've made it this far. You've made it to where you are today, and you're going to make it through this. So number 5 that I want to say is I know that you can visualize all the things that are going wrong, all the emptiness, all the openness, all the losses. But can you also begin to visualize potential? For example, you have decided through this divorce that you have to sell the home. And I know how devastating that can be. That's a specific topic that we talk about in group because for many people, there's a lot of emotions in the home. However, can you begin eventually to say, this gives me opportunity to create a space that I love. It's all about me. I could hang motorcycle parts all over the wall if I love motorcycles. I could paint purple polka dots. So I realize that during this time, the fear of the unknown and asking ourselves, am I going to be okay? It's easy for us to visualize the negativity, what's going wrong. But look at your situation and just make a slight turn and ask yourself the question, what's the potential here? What good could come out of this change? There is good that can come out of this change. There totally is. So look at the good. Look at the potential, not just the negativity. Because for every con, there could be a pro. There could be something good, something new to be developed, to be grown, to make a new you. This is a difficult time. And I know those insecure times when you ask yourself seriously, am I going to make it? Am I going to be okay? Please know you're going to be okay. Because you are stepping forward and intentionally seeking good information, good support. You're going to make it. No, it's not going to be easy, and it is not going to be fast. But I know that you are going to make it through this. Get support. Don't go through divorce alone. Go ahead, contact me. Let's get this healing started. You can contact me at my website or this divorce support anonymous page. So, recap, be honest, admit your feelings. Seek for the truth, watch out for the lies. Write out your fears. Once you write them out, you can recognize them. Don't forget your past successes. Don't forget all the great things that you have done in your past. And then look for the good and the potential. Yes, you have lost control in a lot of areas in your life right now, but your attitude is one that you can gain control. You can take the steps necessary. You can move forward to create that beautiful life on the other side of divorce. So our groups have started, but I'm scheduling some dates in the future. So if you're interested in a group, please let me know. And I will set you up with that individual coaching. Let me know. If you're in a panic mode, let me know. Please take care of you and let's get you through this divorce to the other side of your beautiful life. Take care.